Oh, we have a wonderful plan of action, as well as having some wonderful songs lined up for us today. We are kicking off the business, build your business from the inside out hour, David. That's what we're kicking off today.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. It's going to be... I tell you what, I've had so many people asking me when this is going to kick off. Or start. Not kick out. You know, we're not going to be brawling, but when it's going to start happening. So I thought, such a relief to get this off the ground now.
Yes, it's been ongoing now for a few months, but yes, looking really forward to it, Dave. And you know what I'm really looking forward to is, there's a lot of people going about, Dave, in business, and it can be a really lonely place. I know you're a kind of entrepreneur yourself, and you know that feeling that it can be a really lonely place, and we feel like we're the only ones that are going through those problems, issues, strains, and stresses. And that was the kind of idea behind this, was really asking people, if you've got a problem, let's get it out there and let's talk about it, and hopefully either myself or one of my guests will be talking specifically about that subject, and help you get through that blip that we seem to have in businesses. So I'm excited, Dave. I really am.
Well, there's so many people that they're on the back foot when they start a business. They're always on the back foot, aren't they? They're always going, yeah, but. And to make it a success, you can't do that. You've got to go full belt and think, I'm not letting anything get in my way. I'm going to achieve something. This is my target, and don't let anything get in your way, and just go for it. Because if you're on the back foot and you think, I'd love to do it, but because you hear so many people that when they say, oh, I'd love to be able to do that. Well, why don't you? Just bloody do it. Stop thinking about it and thinking, but what if? Just go for it. And if it doesn't come off, fair enough. But the amount of people that always say, they have a dream in their head. They always say, oh, I've been working for so-and-so for so many years, but I always wished I'd done this, that, and the other. Why don't you do it? There's nobody else going to do it for you. Do it yourself.
Oh, Dave, and the thing is it's kind of bred into us to think like that, and what I always say to people is, think about something that you're really good at, something that you've really, really done before and you believe you're really good at.
Yeah.
Now, let's say it was yourself coming to me and you were having issues with your business, and you say, but I'm an excellent DJ, James, but I'm just really struggling with this.
Yeah.
And then my answer always is, when you first started DJing, were you good at it? No.
I was awful. I was scared to death. Right, yeah.
But what did you do?
What did I do? It was weird. Well, I tell you what happened was, I was as a kid, I was chronically shy. Right, I wouldn't speak to a goose, mate. Nobody believe this now. But the way that my father got me into to break this personality, I was great at sport, but I wouldn't talk to people. I was just, I'd have my head down and I was scared to death. I was just mega, mega shy. And he said to me one day, he said, but now it's like blooming rocket up my backside and that's it. But it was all the case. It was because I was scared of the unknown. I was scared of what people thought of me. I didn't know what people thought of me. And to find that out, I was scared of finding that out, you see. And then the DJ, and he got me into the DJing, and I did a do for someone, and I basically cocked it up at the start of the do, but I had people laughing, and I thought, my God, I can make people laugh here. And from being able to get people laughing, that brought out the confidence in me to think, well, I'm not really bothered. I don't care what people think. As long as, for the amount of people that don't like me, I've probably got more people that do, that enjoy it, and I can put a smile on their face. So from that, it built my confidence, and I managed to do what I've managed to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's my point, is just because we try it and we're not very good at it, doesn't mean if we don't keep working at it, because it's like everything in life. When we keep trying it and keep trying and keep trying, by default, we'll get better and better and better. Now, if you ask any successful person in this world, any successful business owner, and ask them, were you really good at business when you first started? They'll all say the same thing. No, I was shite.
Yeah.
But the difference is they kept doing it and they kept doing it, and they didn't accept defeat, because failure is just a lesson on gaining success.
Exactly. There's so many ways around it. I mean, I remember a mate of mine. He was another DJ. He got me. He started DJing with me. He's 6 or 7 years older than me, and he's a close mate back in the UK. And he'd done. He was just doing concrete repairs during the day, and then DJing at night through the week. And I took him playing golf one day, and he'd never picked. He'd picked a golf club up, but he'd played football for Stockport County, but damaged his knee ligaments, and then he'd gone over to Australia to play over there, and it didn't come off. He couldn't get a professional contract out there, so he came back to the UK, and then he said to me, he said, you know, what do I do here? And he said, I've got a nightmare of a job, and I said, right, start eating some balls. So I took him down to the driving range, got him on the course, and I started, because I was working, I just played golf for fun. But whatever I do in sport, any ball games I find easy to do. So it came naturally to me. So when I was watching him, I was explaining, do the easy thing. Don't overcomplicate your swing and this, that, and the other. And I coached him and coached him and coached him. And now he's on the Senior Masters Tour back in the UK. And all because he wasn't good at what he did. He had a natural ability, but he just needed it developing. And I just kept it simple for him and said to him, "Do this, this, and this, and you'll get there." And he just practiced day after day after day. He went up to Shrigley Hall. We became members at Shrigley. He was on the practice ground every day during the week when I was working, and then we go up there at weekends and play together. And you could see the development in his game over time. I mean, I couldn't get any lower than 6. I could play to scratch, but I couldn't get any lower to 6. But he basically mastered his short game so well that just purely through monotony, just through practice, and getting there.
That's it, Dave. I don't really believe that we're born naturally gifted at anything. I believe that we are nurtured, that it's about, you know, how our parents talk to us, how we're pushed, the people we have round about us, who's encouraging us. And I think that's the difference between someone who's mediocre and someone who's great, is the amount of hours that they put in. I mean, if you talk about you're probably one of the most skillful football players ever is Lionel Messi. Yeah. And his words are, "It took me 17 years and 114 days to become an overnight success."
Yeah, it's true. True, because you just know you just, if you're good at something, then you have to improve that skill, whatever it is in life that you do. If you're doing it over and you say it in your head, "I want to get better at this." Doesn't matter what the skill is or what the job is, what you do in life. If you want to get better at it, you've just got to work at it and work at it and work at it, and you'll get there.
Absolutely. The problem that a lot of people find, Dave, is they pick up, let's say golf, for example, they pick up a golf club and they hit the ball and they flunk it. And then they do that for the next 4 hours playing around the golf, and they flunk every shot. Yeah. And they get frustrated and they say, "Oh, this golf game's rubbish." Yeah. It's you know, I'm not a natural. Yeah. And they give it up before they've even tried. Because think about when you first pick up a golf club, you can't play golf. I know. You can't even, particularly driving and things like, you don't know what you're doing. But the more you do it, the better you become. And that's the same in business, by the way. It's exactly the same business and in life. But the problem being is people don't understand the power or importance of setting goals.
Right. Very good.
And on that note, I think we should play song number 1, Dave. What do you think?
I'm ready when you are, pal.
Let's get it on. We're going to play, and this leads right on to what we're talking about. So it's Rise Up by Andra Day.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Anyway, that was Rise Up by Andrew Day. So, as we were talking about, Dave, we were talking about, the problems that we go through as business owners, the issues that we face, and a lot of that revolves around not knowing the right software systems to use, the right social media that we should be using within our business. So I thought it would be really good to kick off our very first show with having a social media consultant, and basically kind of talking about, where we are, why it's so important to really know what we're doing in terms of this, because let's be honest, we live in a social media world. So without further ado, Dave, right, I'm going to introduce Jackie Hitchin. Now, Jackie is a social media consultant. She specialises in business consultancy for SMEs, and specifically around apps, systems and devices. And her kind of ethos is she wants to make life easier and less complicated for business owners so that they can basically focus on what they do best. So Jackie,
hi.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good.
Can you hear me okay?
A nice Scottish accent. Yes, we can hear you.
Good.
We can hear you fine, Jackie, yes. So, Jackie, just tell me a little bit about yourself and why you kind of set up. So just a brief, a bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you decided to get into the kind of social media consultancy business and how that helps businesses.
Okay, will do. So, hi, I'm Jackie, and I'm the apps tutor. Initially, I previously worked as a lecturer, and I was delivering various Microsoft Office program training. I also worked at a college in Ayr. I live in Ayr, but I'm from Glasgow originally. So I'd worked in further and higher education. I worked at UWS University as well. And then I decided to become self-employed at the tender age of 5 and a wee bit more. I won't reveal the exact age. And it was interesting what you were saying before about people should, it's never too late, and if you shouldn't be frightened. You should go out and do that. So that I decided that I had a lot to offer, but I felt that people were finding it, they were struggling, and I felt there was a niche and there was a service that I could offer to try and make the software systems and devices less daunting for people. So I became self-employed. Initially, it was the Microsoft Office. Then I realised I needed a social media presence. So I had to create my own pages and what have you, and then realised that people again were struggling with the devices and the apps associated with them. So today I've delivered workshops for various sole traders, SMEs, and Business Gateway. I do workshops for Business Gateway clients as well. So again, it's just to try and help people to create their pages and just try and make it easier for them.
Brilliant. Listen, on that note, Jackie, so how was it for you when you first started out in business? How did that feel? You know, because I know there'll be a lot of listeners listening that are either A, just started in business, B, you know, particularly in the expat community, maybe thinking about going out on their own. Can you just quickly tell me a bit about how that was for you?
It was obviously quite daunting, terrifying actually, at that age. But it was something that I always wanted to do, and I've done everything kind of later in life. You know, I was a mature student. I went back to college at the age of 30, and obviously built up my experience. So it was quite daunting. But I was fortunate that I had the skills that I could do, you know, a lot of it on my own. But as I say, it was quite daunting. But don't let that put you off. There's so much support and help, and especially online. There's lots of YouTube videos, and you know, obviously there's people like myself that can help do online training, and show you how to use and utilise a lot of the tools and systems that are out there. But I would encourage
I think that's.
I would encourage people to do it.
Yeah, I think it's key when you see a gap and you see how you can implement and help other business owners. You know, for me, it's been invaluable personally. You know, having people like yourself, Jackie, and others, you know, there to support that business growth and things like that. So let's talk about the kind of digital age and the amazing world of social media that we know, like, and trust. Well, we know and like. I don't know necessarily about trust all the time.
Well, yeah, that's
so specifically about so specifically around, you know, websites. So for me, what I've found is I spent a lot of money building a big fancy website that nobody ever gets near, and I ended up going down the road of landing pages. What would be your advice on a new startup business, or someone who's kind of maybe a year, 2 years, again, that still be startup? Would you recommend they go for a full-blown website, or would landing pages be more suitable for them?
Landing pages could be suitable, but it really depends on the type of service that and products that you're offering. If you've got a vast amount of products that you're trying to obviously sell online, then a large organisation is probably easier. An e-commerce site is probably the best option for you. Personally, what I did when I started, because I was also a content management administrator at one of the colleges, I was able to create my own website, and I just used Wix. Is that okay to say? Like advert?
Yes. Of course it is. Yeah, don't worry. I'll ring him up and get the money for it.
Sorry?
So don't worry, I'll ring him up and get the money for it. Don't you worry. Keep going. Mention some more big ones if you can.
My apologies. There's lots of different ones out there, and they are pretty. If you've got some IT skills, they're pretty straightforward to populate. Or if you can ask for help from someone, you know, there's probably someone that you know that could maybe help put one together for you. And another, Google's great. So Gmail account. Again, I'm advertising. Sorry, I'm not meaning to. They're not paying me anything, honestly. But you can create a blog, and it's free. It's Blogspot, and it gives you, you know, you can create an address and so on. So that's another option that's free, and there's a lot of really good apps within the platform that I've just mentioned that I'm a bit worried.
Listen, Jackie, don't you worry about it. By the way, see the building of the websites, and I know, Dave, you feel the same here. I have to get somebody to do it for me. It's way too daunting for me building my own website. What do you think, Dave?
You've got Bob over me building one. I'm lucky. I'm got just about do Lego. Never mind a website. There's no chance of me doing that. Honest to God. I mean, I haven't got the patience, number one, and number two, I haven't got a clue. So that's anybody that's IT skilled is all right with me. I'll love them forever.
Again, you can get someone to build it for you, but that's expensive.
Yeah, but Yeah, well, the thing is, what me and James do is we put the frighteners up people. So then the idea is... No, we don't. But but obviously, the people that can do websites. I mean, I'm all for it. Go for it. But I haven't got. It drives me nuts. I mean, just doing an email, I'd lose patience halfway through it and have to walk away and then come back to it a bit later on. So doing a website, I mean, it's beyond me.
You sound like you need my services there, Dave.
Oh, I know. Well, don't you worry. I'll be getting your phone number at the end of this. Don't you worry.
There you go, Jackie. Customer already. So what I'm going to do now is, before we jump into the kind of social media presence, which I think is really key, I would like to play another wee song. And this one is by, I know, sad but true, but one of my favourite artists. This is really sad. This is my guilty pleasure. Mr. Robbie Williams, Love My Life.
Tell your soul to me, I will never let go completely. One day our hands will be strong enough to hold me. I might not be there for all your battles, but you'll win them eventually. I pray that I'm giving you all that matters. So one day you'll say to me, I love my life. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am free. I love my life. I am wonderful. I am magical. I am me. I love I am not my mistakes, and God knows I've made a few. I started to question the angels, and the answer they gave was you. I cannot promise there won't be sadness. I wish I could take it from you, but you'll find the courage to face the madness and sing it because it's true. I love my life. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am free. I love my life. I am wonderful. I am magical. I am me. I love my life. Finding others with hearts like yours. Run far, run free. I'm with you. I love my life. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am free. I love my life. I am wonderful. I am magical. I am me. I love my life. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am free. I love my life. I am wonderful. I am magical. I am me. I love my life.
What I was thinking, Dave, that was so Jackie, thanks very much, by the way. It's really great insight. And like when it comes to building websites, I've tried it. I mean, I got one of my website builder to build it for me, and then basically teach me how to change things and move things around, and I still don't know. So I get my wife to do it now. Yeah, but that's another story. Anyway, What I wanted to talk about now, Jackie, is I know from personal experience, social media, so we've got some of the big platforms. So we've got the Facebooks and the LinkedIns and the Instagrams and on it. I mean, we could stand here all day and bloody talk about the different social medias out there, but there's some really more important than others in business growth, bringing in additional revenue. Because I know that my business, relies heavily on social media. So, what's your kind of take on that, and I suppose any recommendations?
Sure. Okay. So we were talking about websites before. If you don't have one, in my opinion, a Facebook business page, which you need a personal profile for to be able to create it. It's an ideal platform if you don't have a website, because if you look at Facebook business pages now, you'll see that there's tabs on the left-hand side. There's a home tab, about, there's a review tabs or recommendations. So they're becoming more and more like websites, if you like. So if you think of the tabs that you get in a website, if you look at a Facebook business page, they're similar. So you've got an about section that allows you to add, and it's free unless you start creating ads. But that allows you to add your contact details, your email address, your phone number, address if you want to. You don't have to have an address on there if you work from home. But that's an ideal platform. You can add a cover, either image or video, which can promote your products and services. You can add a profile image of either yourself or your logo, and then posting on that. Your friends would invite your friends to like the page once you've created it, and you can promote it and just post on it. And just don't. If you do have an existing Facebook page, don't leave it lying dormant, because if people go there, they might assume that you're not, you're not sort of using it anymore, or you're not maybe in business anymore. Yeah. So, as I say, if you start looking at business pages, Facebook pages, you'll see what I mean. And then if you do get a website, you can actually add that to your about section as well. There's so much you can do on them these days. When I started out teaching them, they were quite minimal in what you could do, but it's expanded so much. So you can add polls and slideshows and all sorts of things to them. There's a notes tab, which is like a blog post. And what I'll do, I'll put a kind of step-by-step guide onto that, and if anyone wants to go and look at the Apps Tutor page, and feel free to follow, and they can check out the notes page. I'll get that on there because I'm trying to encourage people get ready for the new year.
Can I ask you a question on that, Jackie? Then,
yeah.
This is so let's say you're not, but let's say you're one of those people that we kind of potter about with a lot of social media. Now, would you recommend, particularly if it's a startup business or someone that's thinking, I'm missing out in this social media age, would you recommend getting somebody that really knows what they're doing to help set that up rather than trial and error?
Again, it's really, it's a difficult one. I manage my own, but it's a difficult one. And again, there's costs involved in that. So if you feel if you do have a couple of social media platforms that you're using and that you're finding it a bit overwhelming, you could outsource to a company. But if it's just yourself, again, it's your business, what you want to say, what you want to sell, what news you've got about your business. Obviously, I'm not, there's companies that can manage them for you are fantastic. But again, if it depends on your costs and can you manage that. And again, you can add administrators, but only add people that you really, really trust. But you can add administrators to manage your page. So if you've got a family member or a good colleague or what have you, and you really trust them, you can give them. You don't need to give them full admin rights. You can narrow that down to give them specific rights so that they can maybe only post on that for you, or maybe answer your messages for you. So it's entirely up to you. You can either go and get someone to manage it for you, or you can manage it yourself.
Yeah.
And again, there's lots of tools. There's lots of online training, advice, and so on out there. And follow, whatever business that you have, maybe follow gurus or larger organisations to get a feel for what they're doing.
Yeah. That's exactly what I did, Jackie. So when I first started up business, You know, I wanted to make sure that I got everything right, even though you know, trial and error is really, really good for you. You wanted to make sure you get most things right. So I'd kind of got someone to help me build it. And then what I did is I looked at other competitions, some of the bigger companies that offer, you know, kind of personal development and business coaching, and I took a lot of ideas from that. And I think it's really, really important to be pretty prolific on there, you know, really get your message out on a regular basis. I think that's so important that a lot of businesses don't do.
Exactly.
They go on social media, they do it for a little bit, then they don't, and then they do, and then they don't. And I think it's about consistency.
Yeah, you have to be consistent. And, you know, a lot of people ask when I do the workshops, a lot of people ask how many times should they be posting. So if it's Facebook, for example, you can post up to between 1 and 2 times a day. But if you feel that you've not got anything to say, or, you know, there's probably not much point to it. But if you can try and do it a couple of times a week so that it looks fresh. If someone goes onto your page at the weekend, they see you posted maybe on Friday. If they go on, you know, on Monday, they can see you posted on Friday, if you posted on a Wednesday, so at least it's, you know, it's fairly regular. But if you can post on a daily basis, I would try and, if you can, and do that as well.
Brilliant. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a quick break and play our next song, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about the power of LinkedIn. So our next song is another one of my favourites, and it is called Love is the Law by the Seahorses.
Sight
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Well, that was "Love of the Law" by the Seahorses. Did you like that song, Dave?
It's very atmospheric, that, isn't it? It's very, you need to...
Yeah, it kicks off pretty heavy.
You need you need an incense stick burning in your house.
Right, okay, back to build your business from the inside out. So we talked about websites, we've talked about Facebook, which, by the way, is, if you get it right, is really game changing. But what I want to talk about, one of my favourites, Jackie, and that is the power of LinkedIn. So what's your recommendations? And if you were sitting in front of me and I was a new startup business and I used LinkedIn, to look at people's CVs, what would be your recommendations to get it right first time?
Basically, LinkedIn, as you've said, it's your favourite. It's one of my. It's my favourite actually as well. It's a fantastic platform. It's not just about getting jobs, but it's for that as well. It's a social networking platform. It's fantastic. Businesses as well as individuals are using it. So if you're going to, get it right, put a professional profile image. You can get that done by, again, member of the family or someone that you know, or a professional photographer, and get a professional looking photo. James's photos is very professional looking. It's fantastic, and he's got his suit and his shirt and tie on. It looks very very approachable. So that should, your profile image, get that right if you can. Not something that you're wearing your sunglasses or what have you, or no picture at all is not good.
Jackie, he could be the next James Bond. That's how good that photograph is. That's frightening. Couldn't he? Hey?
Listen, I'm just photogenic. What can I say?
I'm Church of England, but I don't look that good. Flipping it.
Listen, if there's any filmmakers listening to the show, just give me a call. I'm a busy man, but I can almost make time for James Bond.
Yeah, he's got the space in the bank account for the a big chunk of money turning up. So.
Right, back to LinkedIn. Come on, David. Let's talk business.
So LinkedIn, you've got like a headline. So in your headline, I would recommend if you put what you do. So for example, I've got social media and Microsoft Office 365 trainer, and I helping to make today's software systems and devices less daunting for people. So the headline, if someone's searching for social media or Office 365 trainer, they hopefully will come across my page pretty quickly. Also in your summary section, add keywords again, about what you do, and just try and reach an all-star status. So populate it with your previous experience and your education if you've got any qualifications. And you can also add what's called rich media to your LinkedIn profile. So that could be videos, it could be links to events, say for example on Eventbrite.
Yeah. Jackie, let's go back to something you mentioned. That's the first time I've heard this, and I think that's maybe something to talk about. When you say all-star status, what's that actually?
It really means that it's allowing you're populating. LinkedIn will come up every so often. You'll maybe get a message telling you to maybe add more content to your profile. So if you've not added all your education or your experience and what have you, or you've not completed your contacts information, then you'll get a percentage. So it could be that you're at 60% of completing your profile.
Got it.
So once you've added, everything that can be added, you'll reach your all-star status.
Yeah.
So the more you add, the better it is, and it just looks a bit more professional. Not saying everyone's going to look, at everything that you've got, but at least it's there anyway if they do want to browse. And your contact information.
See that first part then, Jackie. See that initial when you click on somebody's page. That must be really, really important. Then, is that right?
It is, yeah. So it needs to look, professional. So you've got your photo, your photo. You can also have a cover background, but that's not compulsory. That's really if say you're a business. I think you've got a cover image, if I remember rightly, James.
I have.
And I've got one that's got a laptop with images on all of the social media platforms and Microsoft Office that I provide. So it's kind of telling people who you are and what you do. So obviously you'd have your name, and put your name, the first name and surname. Don't try and squeeze it all into, say, the one box. Some people make that mistake. And then, you know, just populate the heading, and look at other people's, you know, look at what other people have, you know, feel free to look at mine, and to maybe give you ideas. And as I say, as you develop, you can add, you know, as you know yourself, you can create articles similar to blog posts, which you can share on other social media platforms. So there's so much. You've got a lot of articles on your profile, James.
I certainly have, Jackie. I certainly have. I write 1 or 2 articles every week.
They could be copied. Some of them could be copied and added to the notes page onto your Facebook business page as well. So that's somewhere else that people can go and find.
That's great advice, by the way, because that's something I don't do. So there we go. If I've learned anything, it's to add some notes.
Again, you can add all sorts, and it's a great platform. I've got a lot of work from it to date. It really is a great platform.
So let's stick with the LinkedIn. Now, something that seems to come up a lot with a lot of business people is the requesting and how do they connect, and you know, what should they say. So, and what would be your recommendations around the connecting on LinkedIn? Because it is really important you have an audience. Is that right?
Yeah, it definitely is. But I think in the early stages with LinkedIn, you didn't really connect with people unless you knew them or you'd met them at a networking event. And you know, you used to be asked, how do you know that person? So you had to maybe put their email address in, or give, you know, maybe they were an ex-work colleague or something like that. So you know, that there was restrictions there, but that seems to have changed quite a lot recently as well. And it's like you can sort of follow or connect with anyone, but I wouldn't advise. I would advise checking their profile, whoever does want to connect with you. Is there the potential for you to do business with them or for them? Can they offer you something? Can you offer them something? Is their profile, you know, professional? And I don't mean they might not have populated it all. I don't mean that. I mean, like, is it the real person? Have they got an image? Have they got information in there that you can check that? And you might find you're connected to some of their connections. So that some of their connections are your second connections and so on. So just be mindful of that. You know, just because I wouldn't not connect with someone only really if I thought that the, you know, it was a bogus account or something like that. And you know, don't try and, if you do connect with people, don't try and sell to them straight away. You know,
that's a great point, Jackie. The selling to them straight away.
Yeah, I mean, to get to know.
Yeah, personally, when someone connects with me and the next message is a sell, you know, I'm not going to say puts me off. It depends on how they're approaching it. But the whole "hi, by the way, are you needing this?" is something be off-putting. So I think it's more about if you're going to connect, make a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Request to connect, I would maybe put a wee note in just to say, or someone's connected with you, if requested to connect with you, you know, thanks for, maybe a wee note, just if you get a chance. Thanks for connecting. If I can help you with anything, please let me know.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that, Jackie.
I do. That's what I used to.
Get a connection.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
No, I was going to say that's what I used to coach when I first got into sales. I'm an awful reader. I couldn't read a script. When a piece of paper was in front of me and I was trying to sell over the phone, I couldn't read. So I basically learned what the product was, and then I'd just make a phone call and get talking to the people. And halfway through, they go, well, "What was the call? What were you ringing me about?" And then I'd say, "Well, I was calling you about this." You know, I was basically trying to find out if it's going to be of benefit to. I was throwing the hook in and then pulling it out and saying, "I didn't know if it was going to be of benefit to you or not. What we're doing is da 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 da." And then they go, "All right, yeah, we'll go for that." And the next minute, you know, the company asked me to then train the new people that were coming in. So. But, you know, there's obviously swings and roundabouts. Some people find other ways different than others. But it's like you said, don't go in with a hard approach. Always go in and befriend someone first and get to know them before you start telling them what what the reason for the call, and then at the end of the day, they're not on the back foot, and they're thinking, "Who's this giving me, a load of earful?" And then you're just having a good banter first of all, and then say, "Look, what I'm looking at doing is this. Would you be interested in having a look at it?"
Absolutely, Dave. Listen, before we go into the next segment and we're going to talk about bringing all this together, I want to, because it's a morning show and because I've been up since 5:15 this morning because I like to do all my stuff early morning, I would like to play my next tune. And that is going to be Mornings 11 by the Magic Numbers. And we'll catch you all back soon.
And I know. Well, what's my name? Well, what's my name? I don't know. Beneath the telephone.
So Dave, we've only got a few minutes left, so what I want to do is kind of wrap this up with just basically, for example, sticking with the kind of business, social media. It's just that if there was any platforms that Jackie would suggest really we should be focusing on, some of those platforms just quickly, and then tell us how we can get in contact with Jackie. Jackie?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yep.
I thought you were talking to Dave.
No, I'm, he always, when he wants me, he lassoes me, and I'm there.
So Jackie, on that note, so you're preferred, so that the 2 or 3 ideal platforms that businesses should be on, and then quickly how businesses can make it easier for their clients to find them. How we'll wrap up with that.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sorry, now?
Yeah,
Hello?
go on, you go now, Jackie. Yeah, do your magic.
Yeah. So we talked about the website. So if you can, then that's fantastic. If not, obviously the social media platforms that I would recommend in the first instance is your Facebook business page, which you create via your personal profile, and having a LinkedIn profile and presence as well, because it is a fantastic platform. Do your passion. Whatever makes you, if you're thinking about, going into business, do your passion, or something that you're really good at, and get your website, get your social media presence, and then make sure you've got, links. If you do have a website, links to your social media pages on the website, preferably if you can, top right-hand corner, because people, their attention span, if they go into a website, they just want to get to the social media pages potentially, so you don't want them having to scroll way down. Yeah. Also put if you are on any platforms, put links to them, maybe on an email. If you've got an email signature created, put a link to your website and your social media platforms that you're on. In your marketing materials, if you can, make people aware. Tell people if you're at a networking event, you're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook, and tell them, what your page names are and so on. And just let people know, let your family and friends, and ask them to like your pages or connect with you, share, share your pages and so on. And LinkedIn, again, keeping it more professional. You can get, with Facebook business pages, there's a wee bit of banter there. LinkedIn's more, it's more professional. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Does that sound okay?
Yeah. I mean, for me, LinkedIn, it's about keeping it real, keeping it professional. Because a lot of people, I think, sometimes try to be over professional on LinkedIn, and at the end of the day, we're still people.
Oh, so yeah, you still show that you've got a personality.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, LinkedIn for me is probably one of the most powerful, most underutilized business building tools available.
Yeah.
And I've got to totally agree with you. Try and make that initial profile, your details, be as professional as possible, and just keep looking at what other people are doing, and just keep trying to improve. Yeah. So Jackie, we're just about to run out of time. So what I want you to do is, so if business owners out there are listening, they're looking for a bit of help, or even just a chat to see how you can help them, or advice you can give them, where can they find you?
Okay, so I'm on theappstutor.co.uk. I'm also on, obviously, Facebook, and it's just go to Facebook and search, and it's The Apps Tutor. You can email info@theappstutor.co.uk. And again, I'm on LinkedIn as well. I'm also on other platforms, but I won't go into those ones.
And if anybody needs to contact you, they can also send a message through to the radio show, and Dave will pass on the details to myself or Jackie. And Jackie, you actually do some international work as well, don't you?
Well, not so much. I've done some training via Skype, because you can share your desktop, so that allows me to demonstrate how to use and utilise the tools for social media, or Office 365, etc. So I have had a couple of clients in France that I've helped, one with their social media and another with their PowerPoint to create a presentation. So I have done some of that, but I would like to get out there and help more people, wherever
Yeah.
they may be.
And again, that's the power of social media and the digital age we live in. I'm the same. I've got clients, absolutely. I've literally got clients all over the world. I've got them in Dubai, Singapore, Saudi Arabia, believe it or not, the US, Canada. So absolutely, the power of social media and the power of getting that right message, it's really, really key. And there you go, Dave. You've got a social media person that can help you or over there in France.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The thing is that there's so many small businesses over here that need. I mean, my idea in the first place for setting up the radio station was to give small businesses the exposure, because they've been working back in the UK. They've got the business up and running, and then they decided that they wanted to live the dream and move abroad. And then when they move abroad, the first 2 months is great. They're living the dream. It's like the holiday. And then all of a sudden, reality strikes. They can't speak the language because the one country that they think are moving to, they haven't learnt the language yet. So they've gone brain dead of that. They've just got all excited about the thought of moving abroad. Then they think, bobbins, I can't speak the language to actually publicise what I do. So then while I was here, during the time I was living here, I was meeting so many couples with young kids and things like that, where they're putting them in school. The kids are settling in, but the parents' lives are falling apart because they can't expose the business. They can't generate an income for themselves, and they're thinking, right, well, there's money going out, there's nothing coming in. So so what they end up doing is they end up going back to the UK then. So they're pulling the kids out of school once they've made friends and they've settled in and they've learnt the language, all because the parents haven't thought properly. They haven't had the thought process of thinking, where is this taking us? How do I make it work? And so the idea behind the station was to then give them advertising to get out to English-speaking people around in each country, to other expats that can hopefully give them the business. And that was the idea.
I know what it's like, Dave. I was an expat for the last 20 years, and it can be a lonely place out there sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think a radio show like Expat Radio gives you that place to reach out. You know, particularly if other people are facing similar situation. I mean, for example, the problems that a business owner faces in the UK is the same as they face in Dubai, is the same as they face in France, if not more so, because they don't know the language.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it's a numbers game at the end of the day. For a business to be successful, you've got to expose yourself to an awful lot of people, and out of those people, you've got to get customers, and out of those customers, you've got to get people that are going to pay. So you're cutting down all the time. It's a percentage and a numbers game. So obviously, if you move to another country and all of a sudden you're limited to the amount of people that you're going to get exposed to, then you're limited to the amount of people that are going to come to you to ask questions to you, and then you're limited again to the amount of people that actually buy from you. So it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller all the time, and the intention is that you've got to expose yourself bigger. You've got to get yourself out there, and obviously, with regards to social media, it's the major platform out there that's available to everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's really why. You know, so obviously, me and Dave, we're, as well as the radio show that we're doing, the business hour, we're also working on an app and a program for entrepreneurs and expats as well. Is that right, David?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that'll be the idea. With that is that the entrepreneurs and small businesses will be able to go onto this app that's available to everybody in the world. Basically, that Joe Public can go onto this app and find any business that they're looking for. But these companies, the idea is that we will be taking it over from Yellow Pages, because the business owners and entrepreneurs will be presenting a video and plugging their own business to camera. So it's like what we were talking about before, where if you're a salesperson, or you're not a salesperson, but like account managing, if you're approaching a business, you want to befriend the person first before you actually start selling. So the idea is that when people go to a video of the business owner, they can see them and they can hear them, and it's first impressions. They go, right, well, I actually trust this person, or I like what he's saying. And they'll even though it might be slightly dearer what they're offering compared to other companies that do exactly the same thing, it's the trust factor, and it's the personal approach that's going to win them over. And that's the main thing in business all day long, is that if you trust and can work with people compared to someone that's a bit hard edged, and you think, God, I'm not going to work with him again. That's it's short winded. But if you're working with people that you can trust and that you can work alongside for longevity, that's the main advantage of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it'll work.
No like and trust. That's
exactly it,
Yeah.
Jackie. No like and trust. Yeah. And that's another really good thing about this other business that we're working on, which is going to be released around January time next year, is it creates that network. So Jackie, just for your information, but the program is going to be, and for anybody listening, it's going to be a network as well as an app. So it's like you can reach out. So let's say you're selling something or you're looking for connections. It'll be like a closed group app as well, so you get that networking environment. So that'll be really, really key to going forward. Anyway, I'm going to have to get us into the last tune of the day, and before I do, I'm going to just quickly give a shout out. So if you're a business owner, you listen to this, or start-up business, or thinking about starting up a business, you're facing issues, problems, or hurdles, please feel free to reach out to myself or Dave. And we'll talk about that particular subject. If there's something you want to know about, I will go out there. I'll find somebody at the top of their game, somebody who's been there and done it, and we'll get them on the show, and we'll get them to share the story and help you build your business. So last but certainly not least, Dave, I am going to play my since we've got two Scots on the radio today, is O Jean by the Proclaimers.
My lack of success, 'cause even with ones up the back of a bus, there was always a risk of a slap in the pus. But Jean, oh Jean, you let me get lucky with you. Oh Jean, you let me get lucky with you. The first time I met you, it did cross my mind. The next time I saw you, there wasn't the time. The third time I saw you, I thought that I could. The fourth time I met you, I knew that I would. Oh, Jean,
go, the Proclaimers. And oh, Gene. On the All Day Special on Expat Radio, very good afternoon to you, nearly. Still morning, but you know what I'm like. I like to be well ahead of myself. 11:44. We're going live to James Fleming this morning. Quality tune, that. Love it. Bit of the Proclaimers. You can't beat a bit of the Proclaimers for a bit of karaoke.
Oh, hello, David.
Hello, sir. Yes,
I've got a wee song for you, David.
Have you? What have you got now?
Get your rocks off, baby. Say no more.
Oh, we won't even go there, I don't think.
I thought you would like that wee rendition.
Oh, I will. I will be singing that when I'm,
David boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
quality.
Yes.
Quality. Anyway, that's for the fancy dress. That's for the weekend.
Yes. So did you dress up for Halloween, David?
No, I don't have to dress up, mate. I scare people at the best of times. When they see me walking around in my pyjama bottoms, they're like, "Oh my God, what the hell's that?" No, I don't. It's too much messing about. I tell you now, right? I remember many moons ago, someone put a lot of bloody face paint on my face for Halloween, and it brought me out in a rash. And you've never seen anything like it. I looked like Freddy Krueger when I took it off. I was like, "What on earth's gone on here?" And I couldn't, because it's got like they have different ingredients in the makeup and the perfume in it, and it can obviously have it. If you got sensitive skin, it sets you off. Next minute, I look fluorescent, me. After I took it all off, I was like, "What on earth am I supposed to be looking like this?" Or what?
Yeah, so, that's the story you're telling us.
Yeah.
Probably you've been doing that fancy dress, Dave, the one you do at the weekend. Your heels on.
Yeah, the thing is, trying to get a pair of size 10 in stilettos is a nightmare. I'm telling you.
You can borrow mine.
Oh, lovely! I'll have a pair of them then. What colour are they?
They're nice red ones. I do like a bit of red.
I don't like red. No, well, I don't wear red. The thing is, I can't see it on black. You know when you when you go into post offices and they have these things above the counter and it'll say number so and so, whatever till to go to. Back in the UK, they had them, didn't they? But it's written in red. I could never see it, so I'm stood there at the post office in a queue, and the woman would be shouting, "Next, love, next!" And I'm looking around, I'm thinking, "Who is it?" And then she got, "You there, you! Will you come here? Hurry up!" And I'm like, "Oh, is it me?" And I'm looking on the ticket. It's got the number on the ticket, but I can't see the number on the bloody thing behind her desk. You know whatever number it is that comes up. But I mean, nightmare. Yeah. So red on black. Bob up with that.
Oh, dearie me.
Yeah.
Aye. So that was an interesting wee hour there. We're speaking to Jackie.
Yeah, she was very good, wasn't she?
Yeah.
For someone that's never been on the radio before, she did very well, bless her. See that? Yeah. What a lot of people don't understand is that it's very, very stressful and very it's nerve-wracking, to be honest, because people that have certain people that have got a certain personality, they'll be fine in the public, but when you put them in a situation like this, that's an unknown quantity, all of a sudden they go.
Yeah, but I gave her a call last night because I knew she was nervous. So I spoke to her last night and just said, "Listen, it's going to be just like this." So we did a conversation over Skype. I said, "It's just going to be." I said, "Just listen for me talking to you.
Yeah.
I'll keep you right. There'll be certain points I'll hear in the conversation. I'll pull them out that other business owners will be going through, because really that's the whole point. I mean, like you mentioned, why you set up the radio show, why we're doing these shows, is to give people a platform who generally wouldn't get to hear this information, know what's going on, know where to go. It's really just to create a network of people that we all know, like, and trust. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is the amount of companies that are worldwide that are small, obviously English-speaking small businesses around the world that are looking for exposure. They're trying to grab everything they can, and it's like climbing up the way I see it is, it's like going rock climbing, and you're searching for a nook all the time to try and get yourself a bit further and a bit further. And the idea is, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be running up the mountain. Even though it's a sheer face and it's going to be hard work, you want to be running up it, and you've got to find a way of doing that. And
Yeah.
there's the social media and tools that are out there that can help you do that. It'll make you feel like you're actually running up a sheer face rather than, going up a step at a time, thinking, God, I managed to get there, but flipping it now I'm stuck here for a bit. How long will it be till I get to the next crook and I can get my hand in and get myself up a bit further?
Absolutely.
You know,
Do you know how I like to explain it, Dave? You see, if you think about, have you got any children, Dave?
Yeah, I've got my daughter.
Right? Can you remember when they first learned to walk?
Yeah.
Do you know, and this is, a lot of people don't know this, a baby falls an average of 260 times before they learn to take their first steps.
Do they?
So imagine being able to go through business or go through life, and I call it failing like a child, where you fall, you get back up, you fall, you get back up, and you just keep trying until you master it. Because we weren't programmed to walk. And then you think about it as well, when you first learn to ride a bike, you got on the bike, you fell off. You got on the bike, you fell off till you learn to ride the bike on your own.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't do. They jump on that bike and they think, I fell off once or twice, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
And that's what they tell themselves. This crazy story. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not built for that. Or these bullshit, excuse the language, excuses that we tell ourselves. And really, get off your arse, go do something, and stick at it till you learn the skills required to be successful.
Yeah, exactly. And the main thing is enjoy it as well.
Absolutely.
Don't try to do...
The true thing is, see, when you have that mindset, Dave,
Yeah.
when you really start to focus, when you know that you're going to fail, and that's okay, when you get that mindset, failing doesn't feel too bad.
No, you learn. Yeah, you learn from it, don't
enjoy
you?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn from the failure. You use that as a positive. You go, right, well, I'm not going to do that again, am I? For whatever reason, if it's got pear-shaped, you don't think, right, well, I'm not going to go down that road. We're going to, because one of the major things you've got, if you're setting yourself up and you start is don't be blinkered. You've got to be so broad-minded, it's ridiculous. You've got to take information in all the time, and you've got to be broad-minded and don't be tunnel-visioned and just accept that things, as you go down a road, things are going to happen. And it's how you deal with it.
I mean, see, when I think about my journey, so I actually wrote a post. I'm a big link to, we talk about social media earlier on there. I'm big on social media. And I'd written a post, I think it was last week or the week before. I did a video of one of my workshops. And it was, so in the last 18 months, I went from being on the dole, so, giving up my job and starting up a business. And then within that 18 months, I started up a business. I started up another business. I've met the Prime Minister.
Wow.
I was invited into 10 Downing Street. I've had over 250 people come through my workshops. And if I gave up every time I failed in that process, I wouldn't even be talking to you today. But I never lost sight of what it is I want.
Yeah.
And I set goals. And a lot of people forget to focus on what they want. What they generally focus on, Dave, is everything that's going to go wrong. And guess what? It generally goes wrong.
Exactly. Because they don't. What I did is I focused on small pegs. I thought to myself, right, I want to achieve that. And when I've got to that, then we're going to move on to the next thing. And I didn't try and blow it up. I knew the big picture, but I didn't focus on the big picture. I focused on the small targets, to hit those targets, to make sure that was done and that was out of the way. And then because of the nature of a radio station anyway, you've got to do certain things in a certain way. But I'd never started a radio station in my life. I'd worked on radio, but I didn't know how to. And obviously the sales background of it I could do, but I didn't know marketing.
It's one step at a time, Dave. That's the key, is you take that first step. And by the way, and when you do get pushed back, you take another step forward. You just got to keep moving forward and know that there's a lot of people out there willing to help. And that's why, I think me and you, we really connect, because your vision is the same as mine. It's helping small business owners get past those early hiccups. And then when they're past the early hiccups, how can I then scale that business? That's really the key, isn't it?
Yeah, Yeah, it's about, at the end of the day, it's all about having that small business owners actually having this roughly the same mentality right the way across the board, because you've got to be of a certain mindset to understand that you've got to do certain things to be a success, and you can't be negative. You've got to be positive and always think positively about things, even when it's going pear-shaped, like we said. You always take the positive out of something that's going wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I first did Facebook Lives, or in fact, videos in general, I was terrified. I mean, I'm very prolific. My videos are everywhere now.
Yeah.
But I was terrified, and by the way, that's only in the last year. I was terrified, and my last video that I posted has had over 40,000 likes and views on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, the Power Within Coaching James Fleming on LinkedIn, I mean, 40,000 views and likes. I mean, that's wow.
I know. That's everyone's going, JF, we know him. So that's the thing, isn't it? You'll find that through exposure, it's like it's great though, isn't it? When you get people coming to you and they actually say, I listened to what you said on that video or whatever, and you don't know these people, but they've actually feel personal towards you because you've actually developed something in them that they can progress with, and they'll come back to you. They might message you, or they might ring you, or email you, or however they get in touch with you, and they'll say, "You've actually made a change in my life. What you've done is da 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 da," and you think, "Wow, I didn't."
Exactly it, Dave. I mean, on that one post, now that was done, I think it was about 9 or 10 days ago. On the back of that one video that I put out there, I landed 2 clients in Australia. I landed 2 clients down in England, and I've got a client in Scotland. So one post, I landed. So I'm now going into their businesses and doing the same for their business that I've done for my own.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, the power is really good, but you've got to be in it to win it. You've got to be. And by the way, on that note, I'm going to ask you to play my last song, right?
Yeah. Because
my wife always used to say to me when I first started this, when you become famous, you better still stay with me. So, my last song before I have to go, Dave, is Famous by Nathan Sykes.
Yeah, and if you need autographs off James, it's expatradio.fr@gmail.com, and he'll send you a signed photo.
Listen, listeners, you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll be on the show next Wednesday again.
Yeah.
From 9:30 UK time till it's 11 o'clock now, and it's the Power Within, the Business Hour, business from inside out.
Perfect. Right, pal. Speak to you next week. Take care.
Later, mate. Bye bye. And that's us came to an end of today with the Power Within, Build Your Business from the Inside Out, with a wee tune from the one and only Nathan Sykes, famous, or a mix of that. So I just want to close the first podcast and radio show with a thank you to the, I think it was 105,000 listeners in today, and wish all the listeners the very best. And please feel free to drop me a message, an email, any way you want, if there's anything specific you want us to talk about next week. And we will see you all later. Live your dreams, write your own story, because how it ends is up to you. Have a great evening. Bye.